Are you sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin.
Welcome, bastards and beachies, and sleazies and sleazoids, and
geeks, freaks, and speaks, and spooks, and whatever.
That's right. If you get your rocks off in a way that the average person in society doesn't appreciate, you're in the right place.
Yeah, you're all kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna end it there with something really, really super racist, but no.
So grab a hold of something you shouldn't show in public and join us for some fun.
Yeah. Your wife's penis.
Yeah, or that wart in your toe. Don't show us that.
Oh no. Oh.
So what's happening?
Dear. What a week.
Hey, Carpazian, Carpazian, the AI alchemist, got it. Drunkards reporting in. Ghana, that was hilarious. Anyway, go ahead.
Reporting.
Yeah. I love it.
I was noticing because I was away last week, and I found out realized something fascinating, that when you watch some of these late night show people on YouTube, when they put their video out, who only do a video a week, they're only out once in a week, and they're reporting on stuff. You go, shit, that happened days ago. Yeah, it's like they must be so frustrated these days, because by the time they get their one spot a week to do their show, it's like, how do you pick and choose?
Yeah,
what to report on? It's just like we're talking about. We're talking about the parade and all this kind of stuff. That was last Saturday. Yeah. Come on, keep with the times.
Yeah, exactly.
It's moving so fast.
I've had these exact thoughts, and for me, it comes down to, if you're going to do something on the weekend and you want to address something that happened during the week, unless you want people to zone out, it has to be something that stays topical, but as well, it has to be something that you're not just thinking people want to hear, but that and want to talk about, because that will keep people there. That's, I think, how it works.
You have to bring like well, you can't just like repeat what everybody else has been saying for the entire week. You have to bring some kind of like fresh angle to it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but it's so funny watching all these late night shows. Like Seth Meyers and all the bloody struggle. They're struggling.
I watched Kimmel and Stephen Colbert from last night, and they both used 3 of the same jokes. I'm wondering if they're just sharing writers to save cost.
I know they just watch our show.
Sometimes we beat them. Very much true.
Sometimes they pinch our joke too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, I noticed that as well. As far as jokes are concerned, there is definitely a similarity, and I think it comes down to the fact is maybe they're all using the same ChatGPT to write their jokes, and ChatGPT goes, I know this joke, I know this story, I'll do this one again.
There is an element to say that that's in there, dude, because you only have to go back in time, not very far, and the different talk show hosts would have their own jokes about the same topics, but they're converging right now.
Yeah. Although I would say that when some of their jokes they do are not only are they clever, but they are also like fucking obvious. You know, they all do the squeaky tank going past and all that kind of stuff. And you know, I can't remember off the top of my head, you know, what joke similarities they had. But yeah, they are kind of obvious jokes.
Yeah. Like Brian Taylor Cohen, he wrote a book. You know, he went right for the easy one, right?
He's our sponsor tonight.
Yeah.
He's wrote a book called The Hungry Politician.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to turn the pages, you just push the little blue lever and the hippo grabs a ball.
Ah, yes. Oh dear.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no. Last week, Trump went to. Oh God, what was it? He went to the theater,
Whorehouse, peep show,
McDonald's. He went to that theater that he's decided to become, the head of.
Right.
Which one is it? I can't remember what it's called now. But
Kennedy.
It was like
Kennedy Center.
Kennedy. Yeah, that's right. The Kennedy Center. So he went to go and see Les Miserables.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think Trump understands what Les Miserables is about.
Are you kidding? There's no way, because the way he played that off, like, hey, see, I'm so smooth, I pulled that off, and everybody's like, idiot.
French Revolution.
Who do you see yourself as, the bad guy or the good guy?
Oh yeah, that's right. He couldn't decide which one he sees. It's like you watched. Did you fall asleep through the whole fucking thing? You didn't even know what it's about after watching it.
Yeah, no.
Meanwhile, there's protests in the street, and he's watching a show about.
Dude, he goes to see Les Miserables, and 2/3 of the way through, he's like, "When do the cats come out?"
He thought it was going to see an all-white version of Hamilton.
Yeah. He thought it was a play about immigrants that were eating the dogs and eating the cats.
I can't wait for Trump to go and watch The Diary of Anne Frank, the musical. What's all that about these brown shirts knocking on doors? Yeah, girls upstairs typing away, writing a novel. I don't understand it, Melania. What's it about?
Yeah. Oh, super chat, Matt in the chat. It's Les Miserables. It's French for the miserable, and it's a play. And look it up, because it's actually something that you should look up and learn on your own.
Yeah, it's a film, several film versions of it.
Yeah. I saw it in Toronto at the Opera House. I think it was.
Yeah.
And
I've never seen it live. I imagine it's incredible.
I was only in grade 7. It was a school trip.
Yeah.
We saw Carmen. No, we saw Carmen, Fiddler on the Roof. I don't think it was Les Miserables. I think I did that on a date night. Because I saw, like, being in Toronto lots as a musician, I saw Phantom, Cats, and a few others that came around. I never did the Technicolor Dreamcoat one because I just, it wasn't, that seemed a little too happy to me.
Yeah, well, actually, Technicolor Dreamcoat, that was actually written specifically for school plays because they made it so there's enough parts in it so everybody has a part. And that's what it's specifically written for. So, fuck going to see it at the theatre.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense that they got.
Don't go to any kid's school to watch it because that's weird. Go and watch your own kids do it.
Yeah,
because you get put on a list apparently.
It makes sense though that Donny Osmond was in it then, because if everybody gets a part, dig Donny out of retirement and we'll give him a part too.
Oh, Jason Donovan did it. Philip Schofield did it. Not that you know who he is.
Bono tried, but they didn't like the accent.
Yeah, couldn't find a part for the Edge.
Kept falling off the stage. Don't stand so close to the edge. Oh, sorry.
That's Sting. Don't stand so close to the edge.
It's funny. Music YouTubers that like to talk about songs that are faux pas now and so much and whatnot. They always go to Sting, the Police, with Don't Stand So Close to Me, because it's that inappropriate relationship of teacher and student. Mm-hmm. And they always say that the song is very faux pas because what if Sting, who was a teacher, is, and that's such horseshit. Anybody who's met Sting would know instantly that man is too much of an asshole to break those rules.
I bet he was a bit on his wish list, I think.
Yeah. He's so arrogant. He was the student chasing the teacher. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I mean, it's such horse crap. They're making it up, right? Nobody back in the day ever thought that. I don't understand why some of these YouTubers don't look into it a bit more and start to realize that 3/4 of all the songs that were done by Van Halen with David Lee Roth are actually about strippers.
It's just YouTubers, looking for content,
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Oh, yeah. What's his name? That bald guy with the spectacles that's always, hawking them to everybody.
Oh, Simon Whistler.
No. This guy's bald on the bottom too.
What are you talking about then?
Oh, what does he call himself?
What subject does he do? Music.
Yeah. He does this annoying thing with his fingers. Always here to talk about the best something and the best something, and then he makes a move like he's a proctologist. It creeps me out.
Right. He's like measuring Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Once I caught a penis this big.
What the hell is the guy's name? He doesn't actually use his name. He's got like a title. Oh, that okay. I'm getting close then because it's Professor of Rock.
Oh,
that putz guy,
right.
Dude. He's not actually a putz. He's pretty cool, but
I don't think he's actually a professor either.
Yeah, you know what? I do believe you could be correct there. But he used to do these videos where it would be like a dive into some cool tune, tell you a story. There might even be an interview with the guy. And now he puts out a thumbnail that says blah, but it's actually a top 5 countdown. And I always avoid top 5 blah blah. I mean, who are you to tell me the top 5 is something? Fuck you.
Oh yeah. Opinion piece. Yeah.
I wish I could go into YouTube settings and put the word rank and ranked on never recommend.
Yeah, I hate those videos. Yeah, that's an interesting. I'll put that on your list.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sticky note. Yeah.
Actually, probably YouTube probably won't like that because it will be cutting down on people clicking on stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
when you
Like,
put in your
will it
search term
start?
recommendation, say, no,
Yeah.
don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I'll rant moment. I'll try not to, but a couple of years back, a year and a half ago, whatever it was, I went from one of my personal accounts that I use, like a Google account on YouTube and everything, and I switched to a different one because my recommended feed was so hogwashed and it never showed me anything that I wanted to watch, that I decided, you know what, I'm going to start over because this is so confabulated. YouTube doesn't even get it, right? So I went to the second account, had never really been used on YouTube. And I went through and subbed some of the automotive people and some of the engineering people and some of the Ukraine people and so on that I wanted to. And for about 6 months, I was a pretty happy camper. And now it's just ruined. And I literally sit there scrolling, and I spend more time clicking not interested than about equal as watching. It's driving me freaking crazy. I don't know what YouTube has done to the algorithm recently, and it's not affecting everybody because, like, for me, especially on my television, the YouTube app is beyond useless. There's the top row of recommended stuff, and then as you scroll down, it's more categorized. And as I scroll down, the choices in there are just repeated of the ones across the top row. And so I scroll across the top row. I go, no, okay, I'll scroll down. It's all the same stuff. And then I hit refresh at the bottom to give me new choices. And it's the same stuff rearranged.
Yeah. I can't do YouTube on my TV unless I'm going for something specific.
It's driving me crazy. It's ruining it. I like YouTube in my living room. I've got a great sound system, an excellent television, and my living room's a really nice place for somebody who's kind of falling apart like me to sit and enjoy shit, and it's killing me. And why, using the same account, is my phone better than my television and probably better than my computer at picking out what I would like to watch? I mean, I barely even use my phone. Any of the mod team and stuff will tell you I'd rather throw the thing against a wall. Like, I hate it. I always try to avoid using my phone.
Get one of those Trump phones.
Oh my God. $179 American phone built in China, gold plated, and sold to you for $500.
This was a question I was going to ask you. While I interrupted you. Yeah. I mean, it says it's US made, which it clearly isn't. Right. Is he just renaming China United States of America?
Yeah,
is he doing a Gulf of Mexico on them? Well,
I think Trump figured that China was a part of Greenland.
It's a state.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Oh shit, it's not okay," But yeah,
it's a solid state of America.
Them saying that the phone
that's a tech joke.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's that was a good one. But it's hilarious. There's no way in hell that Donald Trump, during his term as president, will sell an American-made cell phone. It's not possible.
Oh, it's so funny.
Fucking guy, what's his name? Smarter Every Day. That dude, he could barely make a barbecue scrub tool made in America. It took him 4 years.
I know. Yeah, that ended up in my recommendations quite
probably because I watched it.
Yeah, I thought, oh, for fuck's sake, I better watch it. So I skipped through it. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's kind of clever. Yeah, it's a clever little device. Very good. Yeah,
I'll send you another video.
I'm paying for it.
I'll send you another video. There's a better take by somebody else talking about how hard it is to manufacture in America, and all he was trying to do was bottle hot sauce.
Yeah.
Another guy, he's just trying to make a silicone bib for babies. Nope.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not at all surprised. At all surprised.
It's hilarious. I mean, America just, same with Canada. We gave up all kinds of our manufacturing jobs because nobody really wanted to do it for cheap enough to give us cheap products, and it ain't coming back. And
a lot of it's just down to the tooling, just like injection molding, stuff like that. It costs a fortune to injection molding things, but they do it for tenth of the price in China.
And the guy who was doing the take on Smarter Everyday's product, he had this really cool story to tell as well. I'll dig up the link and I'll put it in the description after, so anybody that wants to see this can see it. But when he would talk to American suppliers and say, okay, you can give me that one piece of the puzzle. How about this piece and this piece? Whoa, and whatnot, right? But when he spoke to Chinese suppliers, is
that exactly what they said?
Well, no, it was actually worse, the way he described it, But when he talked to Chinese suppliers, he was like, I need bottles. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. What for? Well, I'm bottling hot sauce. Oh, we can do labels, lids, the whole 9 yards, blah, blah. We can send you the plastic that you put on for the seal wrap and everything. Do you need your boxes done? Like, they literally are geared up to do the whole thing and ship it to you. And in America, people are like, nah, I just do one step, dude. You got to figure that out for yourself, right?
Send it somewhere else. There was an old friend of mine. Unfortunately, he's passed away now, but he on a channel called China Guitar Skeptic, and he used to buy in cheap, crappy Chinese knockoffs guitars. But he discovered in his process that there are some Chinese manufacturers of guitars that actually know what they're doing.
Damn right.
And
it's just, are you going to bother to give them a good design to make?
Well, that's what he did.
Yeah,
he basically gave them specs, gave them a design, and he started. He didn't get into full production run because he fell ill and all that kind of stuff. But he got into discussing, and they're really accommodating. He had built a bit of a relationship, and they were building his design of a guitar. Yeah, and they were doing it well, and that's the whole side, because that's the two sides of China. China can just knock out shit.
Yeah.
And they can shit out quality. It depends.
That's exactly what he said, as well as Techmoan, a very big tech YouTuber that does old stereos, all kinds of stuff. Love the guy. But he himself has said, if you want to take the time and hook up with a Chinese manufacturer and get good quality parts, you're going to get good quality parts. They are very good at this. But if you ask them for cheap crap, they'll serve it right up to you too. It's your choice. It's not about capability or competency. It's about how cheap do you want the damn product.
I had like funny instance with buying stuff from China for building guitars, and it's like you can you can get like the screws to screw on your Fender scratch plate onto your guitar. You can get like proper ones from Fender. You get a bag of 10 screws for like $15.
Yeah,
or you get a bag of 1,000 for China for £1.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But in those situations, are you buying for the big bag? Is it got a pure good thread? Is it a little bit off? And that's that whole thing. Just because it's made in China doesn't mean it's junk. But when it's that cheap, is it going to be good? Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you get to the point where you can't actually tell the difference.
Because one of the ways you can usually balance this out is material quality. If the Chinese manufacturer uses really good high quality materials, well, they probably took the time to actually make the thing decently. But if it's just lightweight, cheap, creaky plastic garbage, well, right?
Well, there is a thing where they will, if you're talking about screws and bolts and things like that, there's like specific, categories to
tensile strength and all that.
Some of the Chinese are going a little bit liberal with the truth.
Sure, but no more than Italian horsepower back in the day and things like that. Oh yeah, I mean the Italians did when the 599 GTO came out from Ferrari, they gave it to the press. They said it was slower 0 to 60 than it actually was because they didn't want it to surpass their Enzo, the big supercar at the time. But you go back 10 years before that, and the engine would be 2.85 liters. I'll call it 3. Oh, it's got 240 horsepower. That's 250. I mean, that's been rampant for forever in life, right?
You see the same thing in the computer industry as well.
Yeah.
Clock speeds and whatever.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's a bit liberal with the truth without actually lying.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Just being on the cusp of litigation.
Yeah. UTV and Ham in the chat before Chinese crap. It was Japanese crap. Yeah, that's the classic tale, because there was a time when the Japanese were the ones that took all of the electronics that was made everywhere and made them cool and small and crazy, and Sony were just amazing at making this amazing tech for us and blah blah. And then Japan went down you want things for your dollar stores, boom, everything made in Japan sucks. It was us that did it, not them.
I always remember that bit in the Back to the Future, where Doc goes, "No wonder it's made in Japan."
Yeah, exactly, right?
Doc, all the best stuff comes from Japan.
Yeah, actually, I did the Japan thing backwards, but you know what I mean, right? Yeah. So I didn't turn on one of the fridges. You notice I got the Silver Earth Oblation fridge, and I got the original fridge, but that's just because I needed to put both of these things in the air. So, and even still, I didn't turn one of them on. Hold on.
Get a little light on it. I mean, you might as well just put an Xbox at the back there. It can be anything. I know it is supposed to be like what is it? Is it supposed to be an Xbox, PlayStation? I don't know.
Yeah, it's an Xbox, a series, whatever. Oh,
it's not authentic. It doesn't have like the red light of death.
Earlier model, but yeah. Yeah. No, it wasn't. Oh, I can't remember, because Sony had the PlayStation 3s that died with the light of death too, or whatever. Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. The original PlayStation 3 fat models that had the actual hardware of a PS2 on the board as well generated so much heat that you would literally have to put the motherboard in your oven at a low temperature to reball the solder and make it work for another year.
I thought you were going to say cool it down.
Yeah. Oh, I fixed a bunch of those back in the day. People still really like those ones, but they're a flawed design. You've got to modify it so that it can breathe better. And all just so you can have backwards compatibility with the PS2. Here's an idea. Keep your PS2. People are freaking out right now about, will the Switch 2's backwards compatibility layer be good, and so on and blah. Just keep your fucking Switch. I don't get it,
Yeah, I don't
it's
care.
easier,
I'll just play chess, with a board. Did you see the story? There was a story about chess actually coming onto that. There was apparently Chat GPT was slaughtered at chess
by the Atari VCS.
Yeah. Not surprised. I'm not surprised. I mean, Chat GPT is a large language model. I don't think it's designed specifically to play chess. So whereas the Atari basically was designed to play chess.
Yeah, but the Atari has 2 kilobytes of RAM, and it has a code that fit into a 4 kilobit little chip. I mean, considering
ChatGPT, the Russian chess player.
Yeah. No, but considering the hardware limitations of the Atari VCS versus ChatGPT running on all these servers and stuff and having the whole internet to crawl, because let's face it, it was an embarrassing moment that this artificial intelligence got destroyed by a computer playing a chess game from 1978.
I don't know if we should. I don't know if ChatGTP should be embarrassed though. It's like saying, well, no, it's like saying, well, we're going to put the poet laureate up against the world champion chess player. See how it turns out. Oh, you lost, poet laureate.
Yeah.
You loser.
PJ corrected me. It's worse than that. The Atari VCS had 128 bytes of RAM. Bytes. That's literally like an email's worth of text. It's true.
That can't be right. Not bytes, it is kilobytes.
No, it's 128 bytes, and the original cartridges were 4K. But when the ROM chips got cheaper, they did go up to 8. And I think Pitfall might have had like 16. But yeah. But yeah, no, it's true. It's true. The VCS was like totally crippled. You might not know the stats I'm talking about. So just think of it this way. The Atari VCS had enough working memory to store about 2 paragraphs of text. Yeah. Fucking crazy. And it beat ChatGPT. I thought that was awesome. I love that one. There was another one too where somebody else used some ancient thing and kicked an AI's ass as well. What was that one?
A paintbrush.
But yeah, there was another one. Damn, I can't remember.
There is still an awful lot of really cool stuff coming out from the AI world. I mean, Midjourney have just started, putting video into their system now, and it looks really good. Obviously, as usual with AI video, sometimes you don't exactly get what you want, but
yeah.
But it is looking pretty good.
We should shout out Britain, Ukraine, our military buddy there at the Ukraine mission on YouTube. He has but he has a little break, and he's heading home to see mom and stuff and whatnot, and then heading back over to Ukraine. And so we're doing a little fundraising to help him, with the cost of the trip, because he's not exactly making millions up near the front lines and on the front lines, right? So he's got a flight coming up and a couple of hotel layover stops before he gets home and whatnot. So
hey, I got a better idea. Let's ship mom out to Ukraine.
Yeah. No.
He doesn't have to go home then.
No, because remember, Pete's mom visited him about 2 months before Pete fell. So I think there's an omen there. I don't want to play that. Just in case.
You went all dark.
Yeah. Well, it's just, that association's still in my brain. Pete has only been gone for about a year-ish, right?
Did stroke that black cat.
Yeah. Let's see here. Is there anything else we wanted to go over before it's just purely shits and giggles? There was a couple of things in the news.
I got a few things.
Yeah.
Listed.
And
Iran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not really Iran. It's just like when all this shit started hitting the fan, there seemed to be like a huge number of reporting about Domino's Pizza and how areas around the Pentagon were getting higher sales of pizza deliveries. And And it's become like almost like a benchmark of when shit is going down in the United States is how busy the pizza places are.
Yeah.
Now, I'm the doomsday clock. There's like two seconds to midnight and all that kind of shit before the end of the world.
Seconds to midnight.
Are we going to swap it for the Domino's pizza delivery? Are we going to know when the end of the world is coming because they reached so many deliveries of pizza? It must be fucking World War III, the end of the world.
Yeah.
They're stocking up.
Yeah.
They're not even buying fresh pizza; they're buying frozen pizza.
I gotta say though, it's some clever thinking to come to the realization that you can track fast food deliveries to these places and figure out that they're really burning the candle at both ends. Something's up.
I don't know who it was who first picked up on it, but yeah, I saw it started being reported in loads of places. I think it was on social media.
Yeah, it was some research tank person or something, as I remember. Yeah,
because I saw the Enforcer mention it. I saw who else? Yeah, just the usual Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
the Saturday night show hosts, late night show hosts talking about it. But it seemed to be picked up on MSNBC. They brought it up as well. Yeah, it's just, all these people are bringing it up. You go, oh, Pizzagate.
Yeah. Who said that? It was Colbert did the Pizzagate joke. Yeah. That was funny.
He stole it from me.
Yeah. Always happens. They only do what we do first, right?
So Carpathian says it apparently started in Langley.
Langley?
Well, I'm sure it's not Langley in Slough.
Or British Columbia. Yeah.
the Slough branch of Pizza Express is suddenly getting lots of huge. Why are we sending all these pizzas from Slough in the UK to the Pentagon?
Now, I want to bring up something that's funny. I was going to show this, but we didn't. But now it's been long enough. There's no spoilers for sure. But this is a quick piece of footage from the Formula One race in Canada, the Canadian Grand Prix at the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve.
Oh, yes.
And this is Lewis Hamilton in his... Oh, what just happened? This is Lewis Hamilton driving the Ferrari this year. And do you see... Here, I'm going to zoom in. You see that little speck on the road in front of his car? Right under the shadow of the Qatar Airways thing?
Yeah.
Okay, now watch this clip quick. You see how he runs it over?
Yeah. What is it? Hedgehog?
Yeah, groundhog.
Oh.
Yeah. Now,
flat hog.
After the race, the groundhog caused some damage to the bottom of the car. And in a Formula One car, the downforce,
Wait a minute. What about the damage to the groundhog?
Yeah, well, let me get there. So the impact did some damage to the bottom of his car, and it affected the car's ability to go super fast in the corners. So he didn't have the best race. Now, in the end, he was interviewed and he was like, oh my God, I just feel so bad for that poor groundhog. And he's being Mr. Lewis Hamilton, the brand, like he is now. Everything's all about the public image. But back in his first or second season of Formula One, he hit a groundhog in Canada. This is not the first groundhog that's been hit in Canada. These stupid buggers just don't get it. But and during that race, nobody gave a rat's ass for the groundhog. He was just concerned about his car. And it's hilarious how back in the early days, all he wanted was to be a championship winning driver. He didn't give a shit about nothing. But now he's got 7 champions in the bag. So now he doesn't do all that, even though in his head, that's what he's really thinking. But he comes out with, oh, it's so unfortunate for the ground. He doesn't give a rat's ass.
Well, I mean, let's face it. How many millions of dollars are those cars worth, and how much is a groundhog worth?
Right. That groundhog probably caused about $150,000 in damage to that car.
I hope he was insured.
Exactly. Medically as well, right? You know.
Poor little bastard.
Yeah. But there's a crazy list of things that have been hit by drivers over the years. There's been quite a few, like there was a rabbit once, and there was a bird once. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you can't stop nature. Yeah, I mean, it would be great to see like a fucking rhinoceros like in the middle of the road. It's like,
but nature,
what, in Africa,
right? But with nature in this day and age is kind of tuned to highways and cars. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, a Formula One car comes along, and it can come out of the corner at 60 mile an hour and accelerate to 160 mile an hour in a matter of a few seconds. And I do believe that's actually the problem.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's this thing about birds. Yeah, there's the old story about
go with the birds now.
Yeah, when you see a bird on the road and you're driving towards it, a lot of people say, the response time of a bird is much faster than your car. Right. And that's why they leave to the last second before flying away. No, fine. Usually, you do see an awful lot of flat birds on the road, which means they're looking in the wrong direction. Yeah. I don't know how that works, but I'd imagine next to a Formula One car, these birds' response time is probably not quite up to scratch.
Exactly, right? A human's response time is barely enough to drive the damn thing, right? Yeah. And then the suction of the air with a Formula One car is so much that the bird probably thinks, yeah, I'm good. Right? Exactly. Yeah.
Just a cloud of feathers. Chicken bits.
Oh yeah. Especially if they hit one of those wings, man. It's just right. It's like cutting cheese with a hot knife.
Oh yeah, they're made out of paper and carbon fiber, so they'll probably break it.
Well, the car is strong as a car, but it's not built to impact anything without shattering into pieces to disperse energy. So it doesn't work out well for anybody. Yeah.
They need razor sharp edges on all the leading edges. And if not that, put a big, a cow catcher on the front.
Oh yeah, because the guy who lifts the front of the car at the pit stop wants that coming at him at 80 mile an hour. Can you imagine? I've got a razor blade coming up. I'm short.
Getting shorter every year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I used to stand 6'7", and now I got to roll in the new Hobbit movie.
As a helmet.
Okay, enough about that. My finger will be healed soon, I hope. It's one of those moments where you could go and get stitches, but it's going to take a few hours to wait for them. So I just kind of squeezed it. I'm not going to do that. I toughed it out. It's fine.
That's what super glue is for.
Yeah, but it was I didn't want the glue to go in. So I just stood there for an hour. It was really funny because I'm doing this to squeeze it together so it stops bleeding. But I need at least one hand to cut the tape and get gauze and put some neosporin. I was going to say neosporin on and polysporin, whatever. And so I'm standing there and I'm rinsing my hand. It's all wet. Can't put tape on and stuff. So I had to figure out how to hold it with one hand. So I got that going, but now I'm right-handed and I don't have my right hand. So I've got this tape and I got to make the scissors work. And I'm like, okay, think about it. You got to flex the scissors the opposite way, try to make my hands work. So I got that done and everything. And then I'm drawing around the finger while I'm squeezing it together, but I'm letting go of the squeeze so I can get my finger between my fingers with a towel to dry it. And then a bit more. So I have to rinse it again. I try everything again. It took so long for me to do all of this weird left-handed crap to get it to go. It was amazing. I was laughing at myself. I was swearing and freaking out. It was a nightmare.
Oh, I wish you made a video.
Oh, it was funny. And I could have solved this quick. I live in a townhouse complex. I could have called one of my neighbors and gone, "Hey, come on over and give me a hand here for a second." But not really the one that does that. I just do my own thing,
You know what? You could have fucking filmed it. And you could have uploaded it to YouTube, and it would have been one of those how-to videos that gets like 1 million views. How to fix a cut finger? You've cut one hand, you need another hand, and you've wrapped a towel around your penis so you can like dry it off as you go along. One of those videos.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get right on that. You know what I'll do is I'll cut the other finger in a day or two, and we'll refilm. We'll film it all.
Don't cut the penis.
Yeah, but it was a nightmare. And then, so after it's all wrapped up and taped and stuff and throbbing, and I take some pain pills and whatnot, I sit down on the couch so I can just have a puff and relax. I decide to put on an episode of Clarkson's Farm, and it just happens to be the one where he cuts his finger to the bone and has to go to the hospital to have it fixed. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Really?
Writing down, taking notes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the funny thing is I'm sitting there, with my finger in the air so it doesn't throb, all taped up, going, I probably don't need stitches. I'm okay. And he's in the hospital. So, it was.
Yeah, he's a celebrity. And he's got private insurance. So
I'm a celebrity. It's really bad.
He's probably going to have like some sexy nurse come up to kiss his little fingy better. That's not where my finger is, love.
Yeah. Look
Kiss
for the
hard.
small appendage,
The one without the thumbnail. Yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
Anyway, talking about anti-Semitism.
Happens so often around here,
There was another news story broke today. Yeah, hang on. I'm just trying to find where I've stored it. But
somebody stood up and said they're from Palestine, and
pretty much so. Apparently there was some a break-in at Bryce Norton RAF base, and hang on, I think I've got it in this window here. Oh yeah, Bryce Norton. And what was really funny about it is the difference of the reporting. Just the headlines. So the BBC comes in. Security review launched after pro-Palestinian activists break into RAF Bryce Norton. That was from the BBC.
Okay.
The Telegraph comes with the counter-terrorism investigation after pro-Palestinian protesters damage RAF property.
Okay.
And then the Sun comes in. Heads must roll over pro-Palestinian thugs breaking an RAF Bryce Norton.
Wow. So the Sun is your printed Fox newspaper.
Yeah, pretty much. They're the racist bastards.
Does your son still do the Saturday half naked girl picture?
No, not anymore. They actually became righteous and got rid of that.
They did it for years in the Sun in Canada too. I don't know if it's gone or not. There
was a lot of newspapers in the UK that did that.
Sunday Sun Girl.
Basically called it the page three on the Sun.
Yeah,
but there was a lot of newspapers that did that. It was my special treat when I went out to go to Scotland to see my grandparents, and they'd have a sordid paper with a
Yeah, I remember being 7 or 8 years old, and I had a uncle on Prince Edward Island, and I discovered he kept pornographic mags in that thing on the bathroom door, right? Yeah. Yeah. Spent a week in the can in Prince Edward Island,
Yeah. Oh, I've got a copy of,
Yeah.
I got,
And this was the 1970s.
I've got a copy of War and Peace. You can read that. Just joke with the porn.
This was the 1970s, and he even had the raunchy mags that shaved. So,
with stubble.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I never understood that too, because I always thought his wife, what's her name? I'm not doing that, but she was the hottest relative back on the island, So yeah, when I got a bit older and I remembered that, I was like, wait a minute, why would that dude have those rags?
Because she was in them.
Yeah, I think he had a bit of a Melania problem. You know what I mean?
Separate beds.
Yeah, don't touch me.
Yeah, not only separate beds, separate houses.
Yeah, separate continents, right? Did you hear there's another conspiracy theory? It started up a little while ago, but it's gaining steam again. That
I did hear one, but what's your one?
Melania that we usually see is actually a body double.
Yeah, yes, I've heard that one.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Seriously? Joe Biden's a clone robot. Melania's a body double sex toy. Like what?
And Ozzy Osbourne is waiting to be cloned. And no one wants him.
Yeah, nobody wants it, right? Except one drunken asshole who drank the can.
Was that Sharon? Even Sharon doesn't.
Yeah, she drank that years ago. She don't go there anymore.
I'm not doing another one of those bastards.
My knees are too sore for that, she said.
Hang on, that was In Excess, wasn't it?
Well, I think he had issues with his belt and customs at a hotel or something. I can't remember that one. Isn't he the guy that did the whole asphyxiation jerk off thing and actually died?
Well, the In Excess guy.
Yeah. Isn't that what happened? He's strung up by his own belt playing with himself.
I think you might be right.
Yeah. It was something really fucked up.
Chris is on the Chris has got it there. Michael Hutchins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember if it was just like a straightforward just drug overdose or something a bit weirdo.
No, it's way more weird. Way more weird. Yeah. Yeah. David Carradine, Putin's cat, says, really? The old Kung Fu guy, he did that too?
They were in the same hotel room.
You string me up and I'll string you up.
It was a party.
Wow. That's some fucked up shit, man.
Although David Carradine had left no footprints. And if you don't get it, that's a Kung Fu joke. That's well over your head.
Yeah, that's before the legend continued. It is, right? Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad I got that one in. Yeah, bloody hell. I'm on form.
Yeah, you said that the night your last child was born.
I saw a thing the other day. It was basically like a permission slip from a soldier who wants leave, and it said in the comments, my wife is planning to get pregnant this Saturday.
I'd sure like to be there.
I would really like to be there. You've seen it too.
No, it's just the only answer. Like I just knew, Yeah. Yeah, the rest of the family's gonna be there, and I really don't want it to be a bukkake party.
It makes you wonder at this point. This is one of those like hypocritical memes. It's not a true story. It's just too funny. I tell you what. Do you want to hear a really, really bad Star Wars dad joke? And you will probably get it straight away.
Okay.
What do you call a transparent droid? Don't think about it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it by guessing. I'll see when
I'm so close. I'm so close. I wanted to have the answer in my brain. Okay, go ahead.
C3. I can't even say it.
I knew it was C3PO, but I couldn't make it happen. C3PO.
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 I warned you it was a bad joke. Originally, when I told the missus tonight, I said see-through D2, which ran better, but see-through EPO was better. But she got it straight away. I said, "What do you call a transparent droid?" And she goes, "R2 see-through." Oh, you're a bitch. You're not supposed to guess it. You're supposed to go. That's funny. You're supposed to say, "What do you call?" Yeah, that's not how you tell a joke. When you tell a joke, you don't want someone to actually solve it. It's not a fucking riddle.
She probably rolled her eyes like Miss Italy with Macron there.
Oh, her eyes rolled so much, the earth span an extra day.
Did you guys all see that clip of Miss Italy? I do believe. I can't remember her name. She was at the G7 talking with Macron, and
is that the leader of Italy who was like, Miss Italy?
Yeah. And her and Macron were covering their mouths and talking, and Macron said something, and she just kind of looked over and rolled her eyes, and you knew he said something about Trump right there.
Macron's going to get another punch from his wife now.
Exactly. I saw you slip her tongue.
I saw you eyeing her up, you bitch.
Yeah. That was funny, man. Yeah. Maloney, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's cool. I like her. That was such an honest reaction that I can imagine she'd be cool to sit down and have a drink and tell some stories with,
Well, you have to buy a dinner first.
I didn't mean like that,
Yes, you did, you dirty bastard.
She's pretty, but I'm not looking for dessert. I just, I'd imagine that she's cool when the microphone isn't on. Definitely.
You wouldn't mind a little bit Italian spaghetti in there. Something to plant your meatballs into.
Well,
and you know what they say about Italian women? Big feet, big penis.
Italian women, they grow real loaves of bread.
So back to anti-Semitism. Another story came up. Right, there was a like a nurse in Britain. He is Palestinian, to be fair, and apparently he was like on a Zoom call, at work, and he was reprimanded because he had a painting in the background of a melon.
The watermelon, the colors, Palestinian flag. I heard this. Yeah. There was another woman who got seriously in shit because there was a watermelon in her background as well.
Yeah. That is so fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean,
everybody knows that the watermelon is actually the replacement ghetto blaster for a black man in the 70s in Brooklyn. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a racist prick because I'm not, but I'm just pointing out how fucking stupid this is, right?
That was the thing when they said watermelon and it was like racist. I immediately went to, what is he, a black man?
Yeah, exactly.
I immediately went there, and it's like, no, with the Palestinian flag. I didn't know that, and is it? I mean, is it okay? I mean, the funny thing about anti-Semitism. No, I say there's a funny thing about it. Oh, here's a joke about anti-Semitism. And there's no other word, or you pick all the other religions.
Yeah,
there's no word for the anti. There's no anti-Muslim word. There's no anti, Scientology. Yeah. No anti-Hindu.
Yeah, the Spanish were anti-Inca, Maya. Insert,
Yeah, and why is it the Jewish people are the only people that've got a word that they can use as a trump card?
Trump card. It's funny that has a whole new meaning right now.
It is a bit of a trump card. Okay, joking card then.
Now hold on. We've got to say here, first off, if you're watching this, don't get the idea that we're taking sides in this or that we have anything here, because there's many.
I'm not anti-Semitic at all. I've got nothing.
I'm not anti anybody, and there's many people in Israel and in Palestine and so on that don't want any of this and just want to exist as people. But there's a few people in the Hamas thing that got all fucking angry, and now Israel's gotten really angry, and I don't really like any of it. But the powers that be, these leaders that so flippantly just order these attacks and stuff, to be honest, motherfuckers, step in the ring and deal with your opponent, because I think citizens are sick of dying.
Yeah. I mean, that's the funny thing is, it's like, you can't be anti-Semitic, and you can't do that. Oh, by the way, we're just bombing Iran. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like they were bombing Iran and bombing residences where some of the top officials lived. Now, I'm not too sure about residences, but I'm pretty sure in residences, there's lots of people living there.
Yeah, man.
So you're not, you're not just precision target bombing one individual. You are putting an awful lot of people at risk, and that's what's going on with Iran and Israel at the minute. Anyway, they're just shelling each other like fucking mad as usual.
There's some seriously old world hate on display. Now, there's an old movie of somebody playing the president, and they have to do a bombing somewhere because of something. And they're very careful to make sure it's done at night, least human casualties, so on, blah, blah, blah. And somebody says to him, that was very presidential. And he said, you've just seen me do the least presidential thing I do. I think it was Michael Douglas in The American President. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Right. But
I can't remember which film that was, but yeah, I remember that.
Now, the care that they took to try to make it as
I know which one that was. That was the was it 12 days? Was it 12 days? No, carry on.
Yeah. But in my view, looking back on it, now that we've got all hell breaking loose and I'm a much more adult person, what if you're truly trying to minimize loss of human life and just take out the structure and the stuff that helps their war machine, would you not actually just give them a call and say, your people got 30 minutes to get the fuck out because we're about to blow your shit up? Because in 30 minutes, can they really get all of the really important things out or something? No, but they can save their lives. So America's or Israel's thing or whatever, because America's probably getting into it. Sorry about the slip, but Israel's thing with Iran, and they have the bomb, or about to be having the bomb. Netanyahu, who said that in the live chat there? I think it was Putin's cat. I'm, not a big fan. Yeah. He's been saying since like 2012 that they're about to have the bomb.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to get too far into things. When Israel was first attacked, I was very much, defend yourselves, motherfucker. But that's not what we're doing now. Now we're doing other things, and there's
it does remind you of the Iraq War, where
exactly he's got them, and we're gonna get them, like
nobody found anything, and
Yeah, and there's the human cost in all of this politicizing for your own actual gain is too high. And this is the thing that's invaded politics so badly lately, is nobody can even be honest and say, you know what, the other side has a good point here. Let's bipartisan agree or something. It's always a fight. It's always a fight because it's only about power now. It's not about what's actually good for the people. And this is once again risen in world politics. So now you've got countries doing things and they say one thing, but they're really doing it for another. And it's all too much. It's all bullshit and lies. And wow, are we surrounded by a bunch of assholes who tell us all the time that they're only trying to get elected for us, and then they never fucking listen.
And not only that, when the world peace starts to destabilize, it has a knock-on effect on other places. This is the time that China will just go, while you're doing all that, we'll hit Taiwan. Well, and then before you know it, the whole fucking world is in disaster.
That's that snowball effect. Once it starts rolling down the hill, that shit gets big, right? Let me get a drink here. 1 second here, everybody. I need a breath too, because I think I ranted a bit too long there.
You enjoyed yourself. But that's the funny thing is, Trump came on, he's the president of peace. He's the president of peace. There's going to be no wars. There's never been a war while he's been in power, which is not true at all. But my wife was talking about this. She is definitely under the assumption that Trump wants to be a Churchill. He wants to be a winner of a war.
He does, but he also wants to end in a bit of a Ceausescu, I'm now in control of everything moment.
Well, that's the other thing as well. If war breaks out, then he has options to change his powers and keep his presidency. Although I believe it doesn't work the same way in the United States as it does like in Ukraine, where Zelensky is not having elections during a war. I believe the United States doesn't run the same way, but that's because of the Constitution, and we all know
Trump himself said
loves the Constitution.
Trump himself said, "If I win, you'll never have to vote again."
Yeah. That was the other funny thing about this story. You were talking about the Trump, the students. The students have to make their social media media profiles public. Well, as far as I know, social media is public, so I don't know why you're asking them to make it public. It is public. That's the whole point of fucking social media. You fucking idiot.
Actually. But okay, keep going, but remind me, because I think that actually meant something to China specifically and a few other places.
But the thing, I'm not too sure. I think I might have lost my point now.
Oh shit, sorry.
No, but the point was, it was like, anybody who's anti-American is going to be, singled out and not allowed education in America. Well, it's kind of ironic when the people at the executive branch in the United States are also anti-American because they're against anything in the Constitution. They want to get rid of it. They want to reform it. They want to chuck it out. Anything they want to arrest people on the streets just for looking at you in a funny way.
Or for being brown.
Well, especially brown. You can't rule out the browns.
How many? Just if I can interject here, in where I live, we get all kinds of Australians and stuff come up, and they do this summer of picking fruit and just camping in the orchards and save all the money and blah blah. I mean, we're talking about young guys and girls before they go off to university and shit, right? And imagine somebody like that all of a sudden being swarmed and attacked and whatnot, and
English speaking semi-white folk.
Or on the same token, some of those folk stay too long because they have under the table jobs. They just live on the orchards. So their card runs out and they go to one of the orchards and they go, oh, I could stay over winter and prune your trees and stuff and blah, blah. Are those people getting picked up on the street? No, not at all. They're not brown.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about an awful lot of the so-called air quote illegals in America are just ones. They came in legally. They've kind of outstayed their official welcome, but they're not doing any harm. They're just, and they're paying taxes and all that kind of stuff.
It happened to me once, way back in the early 90s. I had a little pass to go down and play with a band. I ended up staying in Long Beach, California, a bit too long. I was hanging out with a few guys that were selling grass on the street. Cops swarmed everybody, grabbed us all, and they put me on a bus home.
Yeah, but that was the days when you were doing blackface, so it seemed right.
But the reason I bring that up is nobody would swarm me for hanging out in LA right now.
No. Well, they'll shoot you in the kneecaps with a rubber bullet if you're just standing there. Even you got like press written across your front of your chest, take him out.
Rubber bullet to one of my broken knees, man. That'd be it. Look
at him. He's tall. We can spot him. Yeah, take him out.
They'd probably shoot me in the back thinking I was a female reporter from Australia.
She's cute. Bang.
Exactly.
Fucking hell. Those bastards. That was the other thing as well. Is like what were they talking about? The ice that there are now. Then they are now suspecting there are bad actors in the so-called ICE arrest.
I figure half of them are the ones that were pardoned from Jan 6.
Yeah, they're not even part of ICE. They're not federal agents. They're not nothing. They're just like sweeping people up in the car, taking them away, beating the crap out of them. Yeah. I think, well, there's a word for that. I remember it in 1936. Brown shirts.
Exactly. Exactly. I made that comment on some video where some MAGAites were, commenting and blah, blah. And holy, did I get attacked for about a day?
Yeah.
But then the left came in like eagles to save hobbits or whatever, and all these people. And I literally had to go, holy fuck, turn off notifications because all these people started coming in to defend me. And I was like, where do you all get the white horses?
Did you remember to put, come and find me at the Shills?
Well, I always make a mention of that for sure. Yeah.
Where are they?
Yeah.
You chat, you bastards. You're not watching.
I did want to address though. I do believe that a lot of the talk about Trump flip-flopping back and forth and all this kind of stuff and him being a moron is not truly true. Yeah, yes.
Shocker.
Yeah, but yes, I believe that Trump is a moron. Don't get me wrong here. But right. But I think a lot of the flip-flop is actually being done by Miller, is it? And a few people in the background that I truly believe are pulling the strings a bit more. And what's truly going on is you do the flip-flop on purpose and you get yourself into a situation where you have pushed and gained the authority, which looks like it's happening, to have troops on the ground. And once that first one is done, he can do troops on the ground in all of the cities that didn't vote for him and cause freaking chaos. But I truly believe that a lot of people that are in states that did vote for him won't feel these immigration hits as bad. You know how Trump said, oh, we hotel and farming. Oh, we've got to slow that down. We shouldn't be going at those people. And then it instantly kicked back up again, doing the exact same thing. It kicked back up in areas that aren't Republican based.
Yeah,
it did. This at this point, the lie of we're going to get the murderers and the rapists out has nothing to do with anything. What he's trying to do is cripple a whole bunch of segments of the economy in the places that didn't vote for him. This is truly what I believe is going on.
Right.
Right. He's Mr.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. And I think it's a targeted thing. That's why you started seeing it in New York as well. And there's a story from Oregon. There was a guy who came to America in the 90s, and now he has his own business where he takes care of other orchards and vineyards and stuff. He has trained people and brought them into the system and whatnot. And he was just picked up the other day, and he's 2,000 miles from home. The ICE just keeps saying, we don't have to tell you anything, to the lawyers, the family, the whole 9 yards. Dude's been here since 97 as a legal resident, hardworking man.
This is one of the things that I don't understand, where, like you say, the ICE says, we don't have to tell you anything.
Yeah. That's not constitutionally or legally true. Not at all. Yeah.
I don't get that.
Yeah. They say we don't have to identify themselves. This guy was in a car, and they pulled the car over, and they wouldn't identify themselves, and they forcibly opened the car and took him.
Yeah.
Why?
Stop.
Because he looks like he's from Mexico. That's why.
Well, lots of people look like they're from Mexico.
I do when I'm 3/4 shit-faced on tequila, but
No, you just sound like you're from Mexico. Yeah. No, I don't know. At this point, are we just being desensitized to the whole fucking thing?
Well, that's what they're trying to do.
And this is just normal. Shut up, bloody motorcade outside.
I was wondering, what the hell is that?
Oh, we have assholes around here like you think, oh, yeah, I like this road. It's good for driving really fast in my loud car.
I remember Jeremy Clarkson in the UK said that once. People find out I live where I live, and they come around that one corner doing the whole drift thing and end up in my hedge. I'm not impressed.
They're trying to impress you, Jeremy. Trying to impress you. That was the other thing. All the demonstrators going to the hotels where the ICE workers were sleeping at.
Yeah,
and they were like bashing drums and instruments and all that.
Yeah, they were doing that whole thing like China did,
Yeah, but can you imagine it in that hotel? There's some guy taking his wife. We're going to have a lovely, peaceful. Yeah, we're going to sort our marriage out.
Yeah.
we're gonna have a lovely time at this hotel. And you get there and you just bang, bang, bang. Ice out, ice out. He's like, oh, fuck you. I want a divorce right now.
Yeah.
All
He's like, I
those other
swear I'll
people.
never fuck another au pair again. I promise.
all those other people in the hotel, just like how, I'm going to have a lovely sleep. I've got a business meeting tomorrow and it's going to be great. It's like,
But
no,
because
I'm up all
4
night.
of them are in there, boom, they all get fucked, right? It's funny. But it's really, really, really bad because as big as the American protests are, I need to see even bigger on Saturday. They're not slowing down. The administration is doubling down. Y'all got to, get even louder.
Have they got another one on Saturday?
I hope so. At this point, I hope it's every weekend because there's always going to be enough people in America that have a free day on the weekend to show up. And it should be no problem to have at least 5 or 6% of America on the streets flipping out every weekend. I don't mean violently.
Yeah. I'm concerned that the demonstrations might hit a bit of burnout. I mean, last Saturday was a good one because of his birthday. That was a significant one for everyone to show up at. But yeah, you're right. You're right. They have to get bigger. They have to, each week. But I would be concerned that people, maybe there's just not enough shit happened this week. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you hear about Christy Nome, who's been sent to hospital after visiting what was it? It was a lab that does a research lab.
Oh God, I hope.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sorry. I know this isn't nice, but I can only hope that RFK Jr.'s policies have taken one out already.
It was a visit with RFK.
Wow.
To some research lab. Now this is all come out afterwards because the news hit that.
Because I heard she had an allergic reaction, and I was like, "What? Strawberries? I mean, dead puppies,
dead
or
puppies,
living ones,
And apparently, it was after a visit to this research lab, which is renowned, not particularly very good, and. I mean, nobody knows. I mean, it might have nothing to do with the lab whatsoever. Yeah. But it is kind of interesting that she was taken to hospital after seeing, going to this research lab with RFK.
Christy, I hear Ebola's a bad way to go, but at least you got to play Barbie with ice. All right. I can't stand that woman. She is horrible.
No. She's a horrible bitch. Yeah. I mean, most of them are. Let's face it, they all are.
Oh man, her box has teeth, and she be creating eunuchs. You know what I mean? That's a nasty bitch, man.
I think you'll be taking the gravel pit before you get to the luxuries.
I think she carries the gravel pit around in her panties, to be honest. Can't stand
it. It's I know it's every I don't understand it why it's come this way because I remember seeing people in American politics and you couldn't tell one from the other, it's blah blah blah, the other. But when you see them, being faced, on some kind of Senate floor or whatever, and they're being questioned, and every single one of them is a lying, two-faced fucking asshole.
Forbes Breaking News has got a bunch of 5-minute clips with Pete Hegseth being roasted, and that man cannot answer a question.
Yeah, that's the ones you brought up the other day.
And the reason he can't answer the question is because unless Donald tells him the answer, he doesn't know what it is.
Donald doesn't know what the answer is either.
Yeah, no, well,
Because Steve Miller hasn't told him yet.
Yeah, exactly. But all of these Fox News hosts and stuff that Trump has appointed, none of them, you can tell by the way they talk, none of them are there to actually make decisions. They're there to announce what Trump and the people that puppeteer him decide as if they decided. That's what it is. That's why the only thing they say is, with our president's leadership. Shut the fuck up. You know,
they are very, very good at avoiding questions.
They've been trained really well.
They've really got that down pat.
that little blondie bimbo at the press pulpit there, Jesus. She couldn't answer a direct question if you stuffed it straight up.
Yeah. Do you like anal? Well, under the current administration, anal has been up like 10% this year, and do you like it?
Yeah,
well, under the current administration.
Yeah, right. And the honest answer is on nights that Donald Trump wants it.
And she means giving.
Oh, yeah.
Lay down, pig boy.
Yeah. She's got 7 inches of strap on that says McDonald's, and he loves a good burger.
Yeah, spread those golden arches.
That gives the Big Mac a whole new meaning.
Why is your ass full of stuff with lettuce and onion? What's going on there?
Yeah.
What's this cheese sauce?
Yeah. Do you need a shot, or are those sesame seeds?
We'll start watching the viewers drop now.
No doubt.
Getting images in their head they really don't want.
Yeah. I can tell you this: Skip the Dishes won't be sponsoring us anytime soon.
I think we need to change the subject.
Okay, here, we'll do it.
And now for something completely different.
Yeah, anti-Semitism.
Why it's not just a Palestinian game anymore.
Anti-Semitism, the stage show on ice. Written by Jews. Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, it's Hollywood. Yeah, if it's stage show, it's going to be written by Jews, isn't it? It wouldn't be a stage show if it wasn't. Dear.
Oh, how can you tell we're getting close on time?
Do you want a racist joke?
No.
Okay, you're gonna get it anyway. How do you know your plane is being hijacked?
Oh God.
Because there's a brown person in the cockpit.
Well, that's true if it's landing in LaGuardia.
Oh dear, that's going to get clipped. How funny that gets clipped and sent around all the MAGA folks. Oh yeah, that's a great joke.
Super chat, Matt. Don't use that one. Don't.
Yeah, please don't. Yeah. It was an anti-racist joke.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt
if there was such a thing.
I wouldn't doubt that the Trump administration goes that far. I mean, right now, the Trump, the thing with RFK Jr. and firing all of the CDC folks that do vaccines. I loved how he said, we're going to restore trust and confidence. No, what you're going to do is put people that agree with the administration in. That's not trust and confidence. That's biased and bullshit. I couldn't believe he said flat out under oath being questioned before his appointment was approved that he would not do that exact thing. But
hang on a minute. You mean he lied?
yeah, but he's also the kind of guy that stuffs a condom full of protein powder and takes it anally because it affects him faster. So, you know.
Got to feed that brainworm somehow. That brainworm is the only DEI hire that works.
Well, if somebody doesn't feed the brainworm, it's going to die because there's no brain left, you know.
I tell you what, I hope it's a brown worm. That'd be so right.
Once the two Trump sons are done with this stupid phone, they have to go back to growing hay to feed the brainworm so he stays alive. You know, I think at this point the brainworm is actually in control.
Yeah. It makes you wonder. You know, it's right? Like, you know, who's actually in charge?
Yeah. This is like a Star Trek episode that never got, you know, put to film.
It's Wrath of Khan, you know, all over again.
It sucks though, because for RFK Jr., the reason he uses that is the relation to JFK and everything, right? Yeah. Talk about sullying the fucking name. The guy who set us on the mission to the moon. The guy that was cool enough to have Jackie Onassis as a wife and still fuck Marilyn Monroe, right? I mean, this is a cool dude, you know?
And he had a great movie as well. What's his name in it? You know, Dance with the Wolves guy.
Kevin costs more than good actors.
Costs more. I like it.
I just created that. Send it out there and share it.
Yeah. That was until Will Smith heard it and he goes, "Wow, I can outdo that one."
Yeah. That's when Will Smith got up and slapped the wolf for making Cosmore a star.
You already charged them $1 million, you putz. Where are they going to load on me? 10 million a day, even if I don't turn up.
Yeah. I think Kevin Costmore. I'll never forget that. Now that's all he is to me.
That's great. I like Kevin Costner. He's all right.
He was amazing in a movie that came out with Gene Hackman and another guy that's really good. Before he was super famous, called No Way Out.
Right.
And I'm not going to give it away because it's one of those movies that you can't rewatch again. The way the movie plays out, once you truly, you know, right, it blows it for you. And if you haven't seen it before, I highly recommend checking it out. No Way Out.
Sounds familiar. I'm sure I've seen it, but I can't remember it.
It's awesome. It's a really, really good movie. What else do we got here? You know, the software for my camera changed.
Oh, joy.
And I can't get the focus to go perfect anymore. So I'm going to skip it. And I don't know if he's here anymore, but UTV and Ham, he got my son this really cool little action cam. And I discovered when I plugged it in to get some footage off it for editing and stuff, that it works as a webcam. So I went and bought myself one as well. And I think I've had it for like a month sitting there doing nothing. So hopefully I'll have it set up by the next time you see us, and maybe shit will be even, you know, better.
Yeah, you it's a good job you're not a Formula One driver, because you're not the fastest off the
dude, right?
The grid.
But also my neck would never, you know, contain the G forces. That's another thing.
Still got that fucking painting to get at auction off.
Yeah. Oh my God, I totally forgot about that.
Of course you did.
Yeah. You know what? I'll just give you his info.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Probably better at this point, man. I've had a few fucking really crazy weeks, you know. And there's another 7 days of crazy coming up. And then my son's done the school year. And to a lot of people, that would mean, well, they're home 24/7. How are you going to find any time? My son is homeschooled, but as soon as summer kicks in, he goes out with a youth group to spend all day with them. And I actually get way more fucking time. It's weird. My life is backwards. But it's coming. So I was going to do something next week. Don't know what it is anymore. It's gone.
So fucking useless. Dear. Oh yeah. Yeah. I just thought of it. Yeah. World peace and yeah, everything, and we're going to sort the world. Oh no, fuck it, it's gone. I had it. It's like that bit in. It's like that bit in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy when the person on Earth just suddenly figures out the meaning of life and everything, and that's the point. The world gets blown up.
Yeah.
Oh!
I've got it.
Oh, you fucking useless sod.
Yeah.
It's a good job we like you. It's a good job we love you.
Yeah. I paid him to say that.
Not enough.
Yeah. I paid him in bottle caps, but well, I hear they're returnable. I have to figure out this whole I mentioned it earlier. I took 2 broken dryers. My dryer had one of the roller wheels. They look like the wheels you would put on a set of rollerblades. They really do. And one of them was going, and it was so loud that people in South America were like, dude, you want to shut that shit off? And so my neighbor's dryer died. It was an electrical issue. So she put it outside, and then the kids fucked with it, broke the door and everything. And I was like, I guess that thing is dead, right? She goes, yeah, it's broken. I'm just waiting for the property management to get rid of it for me. I said, I'll take it because I need a part from it. So I ripped apart my dryer, cut my finger open, almost lost the tip. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. And then I ripped her dryer apart, stole the parts I need, put them back together. But in ripping her dryer apart, I realized what the problem was. It was a $12 fuse. That's all it was. It was just too full of lint and it overheated. And so after I had my dryer all fixed and stuff and took her old dryer out, all the broken bits, and got rid of them, I told her, I said, had you not let the kids play with it and destroy it, your dryer could have been fixed for $15. And the look on her face, she was like, well, how was I to know that? And I said, well, you see that thing in your hand? Yeah, it's called a cell phone. And it has this thing called Google. I mean, I'm not an appliance repair guy. I just looked it up. In this day and age, when you've got the entire world at your fingertips, to not try? Really?
Yeah.
But I was really grateful it happened because I got the free parts I need to make my dryer work again, right? So that worked well.
Well, you extend your story on the dryer and make it big, because I'm just going to nip up and get some ice and some wine.
Oh, okay. So when Dunk says ice and wine, what he's actually doing is relieving what you and I might call sexual tension. So he's probably, when you go into the bathroom at Dunk's place, there's the urinal or urinal. They actually have the toilet and bidet set up, but then they have the little hole, and that's for self-gratification. Different neighbors and people he knows show up on the other side, and, they partake because it's fun for the whole family, right? And, yeah. So, me, myself, I like to actually get ice, but not ice. Oh, wait a minute. That didn't come out right. Little blocks of water that have been chilled that I can put in my drink. Is that how I have to say it now because of ice? Interesting. Bidet lessons. What if you're one of those people that has a really skinny little butt and you sit and hover over a bidet and you get that splash going on, but it's like flinging out the sides because your skinny little ass doesn't really cover and force a downpour afterwards? If you do that at somebody's house, do you have to then, sheepishly go out and go, can I have a towel that can be used for bidet madness, or do you just sheepishly play it off and say, well, with me? And would this be a lesson that you probably shouldn't, take a nasty shit when you're at your friend's house?
Hello, I'm back.
Okay. So, how's the bidet? Is it working, or does it splash up the sides?
You're not supposed to piss in it. I don't have a bidet.
No?
No, I have a bath with a shower head. That would do it.
I have an immigrant with a sponge on a stick. Give me a second here.
Oh, is he off now? Oh, it's my turn. Hey, bugger off. Yeah, so, this last couple of weeks has been kind of interesting because bit of a quandary about car purchases, because my wife's on disability, right? And we looked at this scheme. It's called Mobility, where you basically get a brand new car paid for, using her disability allowance. You have to pay into it, a little bit, if you want a fancier car. And me being that kind of guy, I'd want to do that. And it looked like a really, really good deal. And we were really look into it, and of course, set me on that kind of thing. It's like, I wasn't even thinking about it. It's like, oh, new car. Oh, yeah. Everybody likes the idea of it. Oh, a new car, nice racing car. And even though, right, you get a new car every 3 years. You don't get her disability allowance, but you get a new car every 3 years. And insurance is paid for, road recovery is paid for.
What are you talking about, Willis?
I'm talking about cars, shut up. And you get
Who's paying for all this shit? What are you talking about?
Well, you should have been here. You normally have your speakers on, so I didn't have to explain this twice.
I don't piss quietly so I can hear you in the background.
You should do that. Well, anyway, it just doesn't matter. You've already heard all this. Anyway, the idea was, it all seemed like a really, really good deal. In actual fact, he's still spending like thousands and buying a brand new car. So I started looking, right. Okay, let's look at other options for replacing my car. Now, if you don't know, I drive a Toyota Land Cruiser, and quite frankly, I'm stuck on the brand. it's a bit like smoking. I smoke old Holborn, tobacco, and I've been smoking it for 25 years, and I'll probably do it till the day I die, which will probably be next year. So I'm kind of like really stuck on the car. So I started looking at replacing
Upgrades and stuff.
Yeah, no, just replacing the car, buying a new one.
Oh yeah.
And I found the cars like mine, older than mine, twice as much mileage, going for like 10 to 18,000 pounds.
I've been telling you this for years. Yeah,
and it's like, wow, I've got one. What?
And not only do you have one, let's be a little bit more clear about this. He has the last of the generation that everybody wants now because it's not so computer ridden and electronically faulty and all that. He has the last of the real ones.
Yeah, it was built in 2004.
Yeah.
So
you have the last of the good ones. People will pay huge for those now.
Yeah. But here's the rub. It's tatty.
Right.
Aircon doesn't work. And I've just spent 1,000 quid just going around replacing all the brakes and everything. So I thought, well, I've just spent that kind of money on it. I said, why get rid of it? So I'm looking at me and Dick pimping my ride.
Yeah, but properly.
We're going to beautify it. I'm going to get the aircon. The first thing is get the aircon fixed. I had a guy, right? I was emailing a guy. I was talking to him. He's down there. He's a local guy. He does all aircon repairs. And
his dad worked in pit. His grandpa worked in pit.
So we're having this conversation and saying, well, I think it's going to need more than just like a regassing. I think there's a leak. It's going to need like seriously. And then like after 3 days of talking to him, he says, the garage that I work with he's ill, and I think he's giving it up. So I can't really do that. Oh, well, thanks for that. We have to after 3 days of communication with him. So I'm gonna have to go find somewhere else to.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. He wasn't the right guy anyway, because if your air conditioning system is on the faults and it's an older system like yours, and it potentially had a leak so that moisture and air is getting in as well, your evaporator and so on and whatnot are gone. Like, you've got a serious refresh coming on. And he didn't seem to have told you that even from the start. And
no, I told him pretty much, what I thought, which you should
never do. Yeah.
I know you should never do that, but
you never go to your mechanic and tell him what you think is wrong. You tell him what's wrong.
Yeah.
Don't give theories, because you probably just cost yourself 2 hours of bullshit for them chasing your tail when they should have been chasing the right thing.
That's car wizard advice. I know that one. But so I'm potentially going to be taking it somewhere. So I'm going to get the aircon sorted out. That might cost at least $1,000, maybe. Then I want to get the dents taken out of it. Some fucking cunt has put in the car. Get the front and rear bumpers refurbished because they're all knackered and crap.
Yeah.
Get the wheels doctored. Get a proper, detail work on the car, so it's just like as pristine as possible.
Yeah, but with the rust and stuff you're talking about doing, that's called a paint job at that point, right?
No, I'm not. Well, it's not actually bad on the outside. It doesn't really need a paint job.
Oh, okay.
I think I POR 15 to the front of the car a couple of years ago. So I protected the front of it, and I think the back needs doing. But Yeah. So it's all a bit of a process. But
Well, yeah, there's steps to this, right? So first, you do your mechanicals, make sure she's sound, compression test, yada yada, blah blah blah. Check for electricals. You could have a ground that's going to be issues and stuff and so on. Then and during that, you're going to do your AC. 1,000 pound. I think you're being a little low because it's an older car, parts and stuff. But after that, you do any kind of body stuff and rust and whatnot and that kind of thing, paint correction. And then you go into the interior and you take off some of those older panels and, and so on. And you get them leathered. And then you do the big screen upgrade to your dash and stuff. And then you've got a vehicle that comes from the end of the era where you can actually keep these vehicles running. But you've modernized it and you've got yourself some cool fucking wheels, man. That's the way to do it. And your vehicle, if you do all that to it, will hold its value and go up. It's not even wasted money. Not like some boy racer asshole who takes some 90s Honda and puts all kinds of money into stancing it when it's running on 3 cylinders, right? Well,
the interesting thing is when I was looking at, similar cars are on the market. My car has only done 125,000 miles.
And that's a Land Cruiser from like 05 or whatever. So you got 400,000 coming if you play this right. You're going to have to do some ball joints, bushings, and all that shit underneath, but it's totally worth it, man. I mean, that's why Felix and I want like an old school 2000s Jeep XJ, a 2-door preferably, because I can keep that thing running until I die with like a small set of tools, right? I
mean, yes, a nice new car with a nice new car smell. I mean, I've never owned a brand new car, never, and not. Let's face it, not many of us ever do.
I did once. Yeah, I was only 17 too. I bought a Dodge Ram 50 little tiny sport truck. It was actually the Mitsubishi with a Dodge badge on it, but I was 17. And I was doing that half work, half school thing. And I worked at a car plant, Magna International plant. So I got cost price plus 1% to buy whatever the fuck I wanted. I went and got a loan and bought a truck brand new. It was funny too, because when I bought the truck, well, I hadn't bought it yet. I was there with my girlfriend and we looked at the truck and I loved it. And she was like, I can't believe that that's the truck you want. And I was like, why? And she was like, the color. I was like, white? She's like, it's yellow. And I was wearing those yellow driving glasses, right? I didn't notice it was yellow.
Well, you're colorblind anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, but not that bad, right? But so we drove. I turned around and I went back and it was yellow with black trim. And I was like, I think I like that better. So I bought it. I sold it within like 9 months and went back to a muscle car or whatever, but
PJ in the chat says, before Dunk has to do anything, he has to find a replacement to do the Shills first.
Well, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to get the Toyota itself to take Dunk's place while he's working on it. Yeah. Owen Wilson's going to play the part.
I'll have to take pictures and shit, and I'll have to do like video updates of the transformation.
It's going to go from a Toyota Land Cruiser into a Lamborghini Murcielago.
Donations are appreciated. About 300,000, I think, is a Lancia.
Yeah. Well, just for the transmission, the different, we're at 153 here, so we better.
We're going to pop our clogs.
Yeah. Somebody hoist the sails because we're out of here. Is that how it works? You hoist the sails? I don't even know.
No. Well, the hoist them or unhoist them.
Yeah, well, I haven't hoisted anything in a while. I'm getting pretty old, so
Yeah.
usually that shit follows me, but from behind, like a foot or two.
And if you're hoisting, you got a little winch.
I wear those underwear with the little butt flap just so my nutsack can hang out now, right?
Oh, dear.
If you can't be the joke, you can't make somebody else the joke, right? So, what's coming up in our world over the next few days? I'm so glad you asked because I'm here to tell you. Thanks to PJ CNET who fucking told me to. Yeah.
You don't fucking
I
know.
do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, tonight I'm going to go to bed early, so I'm not hungover to do the Ukraine update show tomorrow. We will be doing some fundraising with the Car for Ukraine crew, and there's actually somebody I met through Rick the Ukrainian that could be joining us tomorrow. But I've been too chaotic to seal the deal, and we'll see what happens. Saturday night, no, we're not doing fuck all, but Sunday we're having the pub chat, the proper pub chat, and we might have a guest on the show who hasn't been seen since the Holy Grail itself. So I do recommend tuning in for that one. Could be big. We should thank the team for not only helping us so much in the background, but listening to this bullshit time after time. Right?
Oh, they want to hang around to do it, you know.
Yeah, that's why that cute little chick sang that song time after time. She was reminiscing about the Shills moderator team and how they have to continuously listen to this shit.
What were those other chicks singing about 99 red balloons? What was that all about? That was nothing to do with the channel, was it?
Sexual attraction and armpit hair. I'm confused on that one, but it's balloons. So remember, when you're putting your Lego together at night because you're trying to unwind and disconnect from the MAGA madness that is in your life, don't build a castle with that Lego because some orange painted shit gibbon that looks like a basketball could show up and start dictating. You're way better off to make sure that when you build your castle, you put a brown person in charge because they will make it fair for everybody.
Racist.
I hate myself. Yeah, but I'm the only one here at night, so it's a weird. Yeah.
You can't do a DEI hire on the Lego.
Yeah, I have to paint my hand brown just to go on OnlyFans. You know, it's really weird. So it's your turn to piss people off and lose us even more subscribers.
Oh, well, I've done plenty of that, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, anti-Semitism. What's your favorite kind of anti-Semitism?
Mine's the kind with the little hats. Oh no, wait a minute.
Yeah, anti-centimeterism. Yeah.
No, my favorite anti-Semitism is when it comes with graduation hats from white people.
Do you know who my favorite anti-Semite is? Mel Brooks. He's so good at taking the piss.
Oh yeah, you know.
Hey, Spaceballs 2 is coming.
I heard that.
Yeah, there's a trailer out from it from Mel Brooks. It's quite funny. Just after 37 years, you've had so many of the prequels, the sequels, the prequels to the sequels, the sequels to the prequels. You've had 9 Harry Potter films and so many Lord of the Rings.
I saw I saw the thing was released on the interwebs or whatever, and I was like, I'm not even watching it. If this is going to really happen, I want zero spoilers at all. And turns out that Mel Brooks didn't put any in it. He just pissed everybody off.
He probably isn't even doing it. It's just like,
yeah. It's like Glenn A. Larson being a part of the second Battlestar Galactica. That's not really true. I just put him in the credits.
Oh, there's also Liam Neeson's Police Squad.
Yeah. I was
it
surprised.
Looks really good.
Yeah, and they didn't use the Naked Gunner where they went back to police. I really think yeah. And if anybody can do deadpan, it's Liam Neeson, because I think he's been dead for about 15 years, right?
He's so good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, he has got comedy chops.
He does. Have you not seen the Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
So it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from the team, because they probably actually mean it. Take care, everybody. See you soon.
No, and everybody, kissy, kissy, kissy. Licky, licky, licky.
Ah.